So there's still 25% varnish, no, 75% varnish, 25% thinner. And I switched from the bronze to the steel. So essentially on the right hand side there's a new bronze pad, and that's about 2 days worth of work what the little one on the right hand side looks like. It used to look like the big pad on the left. After 2 days it looks like that. The bronze wool on the left is a full pad, and after 1 day it looks like that. So I think I'll have a longer lasting pad using the steel wool, and I don't see any difference in the quality of the abrasion. And as I've said before, the bronze wool is really for the boat where it's exposed to the elements and it can get wet. And if it's bronze wool, little pieces of bronze wool, because when that big pad turns into that little pad, the stuff that used to be the big pad goes someplace. But when that bronze hangs out on the deck, it doesn't rust. But the steel wool, when it hangs out on the deck, it does rust. You got to be very careful to make sure to get every single little piece of that steel wool off. So I'm only varnishing one side at a time. And while I was varnishing today, I did some calculations, and assuming that there's 6 sides and I do one side a day, then we could say it's a week for each coat of varnish. And that means that it will probably take me 10 weeks to get all of that. There's another pad that I pulled out of the steel wool, but it'll take me about 10 weeks to get this varnish to the level that I want. Now, I do use the little 1-inch brush, which I just knocked over as I was doing this. It's on the floor. But I do that on the edges, not to try to varnish the edges, but just to eliminate any kind of gooping, drips that are there. If there's any drips, it'll smooth it off. But you can see the finish is pretty nice there. This is really what I would say is the first coat, because I did put a 50-50 coat on 2 sides, and I pretty much, with the wool, rub most of it off. So this looks pretty shiny right now, but a lot of that's going to be rubbed off when I try to put an abrasion there for the following coat. And then this is the other 2 pieces for the cockpit table. Again, I'm not trying to varnish the sides. I just run a little 1-inch foam brush across the sides just to avoid any drips congregating or forming. And at a typical marine store, West Marine for sure, or the ship shore at my marina, they have, and Defender for sure, probably West Marine online too, it has better containers that would actually measure the amount of mixture that I'm putting in. So I'm assuming I'm about 25% thinner right now and 75% varnish.